Hello everyone and welcome to my Apple Pencil review. To be more specific, this is the first generation pencil and I'm using it with the 10th generation iPad. And this is coming from a student's perspective, so if you're looking for an artist or graphic designer, then I highly recommend watching a different video. So in this video, I'm going to give my overall opinion on the device so you can see if it's worth your $100. Now if you're buying one of these pencils for the iPad 10, then you want to make sure that's compatible with that iPad. So you can check on the side. It should say for iPad 10th generation, and at the bottom it should say includes USB-C to Apple Pencil adapter. And the reason for this is because older Apple Pencil models didn't include this adapter since they were manufactured when the iPad 10 wasn't released yet. So if you want to make sure that it's compatible with this particular iPad, then that's how you can check, by looking at this label and this label. Now I put everything back in the box so you can see what it looks like. Designed by Apple in California. We have our paperwork and some accessories. Now this is the adapter I mentioned earlier, the USB-C adapter. This is the lightning adapter, and you have an extra Apple Pencil tip along with your paperwork. Then the pencil itself. Now there is no charging cable or adapter included in the box. Let's take a look at the design and build quality. Then I'm going to go over the features. So at the top we have this metal ring that says Apple Pencil. Now the rest of the pencil is made out of plastic. It's a sort of glossy white plastic. It feels pretty grippy to me, but that may depend on your hand. So it has some weight to it. And when I mean grippy, you'll see that it doesn't really slide off my hand. I can hold it at an angle that's almost vertical and it doesn't want to fall off easily. For the Apple Pencil tip, you can unscrew it counterclockwise and just screw it back in. Very easy to replace. And at the top over here, we have this magnetic cap which reveals the lightning port. Now this is the thing that I hate the most about the design, and you'll see why later on. Okay, let's take a look at the features. So pairing and charging via lightning, okay, that's kind of misleading. I'll get to that later on in the video. We'll skip it for now. The only thing that will really affect you as a student is low latency. Since the tilt and pressure sensitivity aren't really important unless you're doing some serious art, and I'll demonstrate why. Now this is what some of my notes look like. This is some math, and I'm using an app called GoodNote 6, which is a subscription-based like note-taking app which has different notebooks and lots of other features. But since most people will be using the default Apple Notes app for drawing things, we're gonna go there instead. Now what I mean by low latency is when you write something or when you draw something, there isn't any noticeable lag. So if you take a look at the tip of the pencil, you'll notice that if I touch the screen, it will start drawing, and that line stays right below the tip of the pencil. So there isn't any lag when you start using the pencil. And this is the only thing that's important in my opinion, so you can see exactly where you're writing things without any delay. The other features like the tilt and pressure sensitivity might not be that useful for students since we're not like doing any serious art. So for pressure sensitivity, it's self-explanatory. If you draw a line like this, it's the same thickness, right? But if you press harder while drawing the line, it becomes thicker. So that's your pressure. And for your tilt, obviously if I just draw like at a 90-degree angle, we'll get a straight line. But if I draw at a slanted angle like this, we'll get a straight line but a wider line. So just like that. Since some of you might be buying your first Apple Pencil, I want to quickly mention another feature which is called palm rejection, and it isn't even on Apple's website. Now if you write with your palm like on the screen, it will reject any input from your hand. So it will only accept input from the pencil. So I'm writing text over here. You'll see that my hand isn't messing up the touchscreen and drawing random stuff on my skin. Instead, it's rejecting my palm, but accepting the input from the pencil. And that gives you a really natural writing experience, just like you're writing on paper, and you can just rest your hand down here. Oh no, I don't want to mess up my notes. Okay, now it's time to get to the pairing and charging via lightning. Now this is the thing that I hate the most about this pencil, but luckily it's the only thing I hate the most, and there are two reasons for that. Now the first thing is, if you want to get access to the lightning port, you gotta remove this cap And because there's a cap, your pencil is now in 2 pieces. So there's a high chance that you can lose this cap, just like that, if it falls into like a drain or something. You know, where they have those drains that collect water, or those little like potholes or whatever. Or I don't know, but you can lose it somehow, since it's really small. And the second reason why I hate this is because of the lightning port. Not necessarily because the lightning port is bad, but because the iPad 10 has a USB-C port. So since this review is specifically for the iPad 10, we gotta review how it works with the iPad 10. And when it says pairing and charging via lightning, this statement is technically true for other iPads aside from the iPad 10. So if your iPad does have a lightning port, you can pair and charge the pencil directly using the lightning port. But since the iPad 10 has USB Type-C port, you can't actually just plug it in and charge it. Meaning, you have to use this adapter which I showed you earlier, which is the Type-C adapter. Let me adjust the light. So you gotta plug this end into the pencil, and you gotta make sure you plug the right end. If you plug the other end, it won't actually fit. Then you gotta get your charging cable. So you gotta use the one that came with your iPad. You gotta unplug this adapter. You gotta plug this in over here. And you gotta plug this in over here. And that's how you charge or pair your pencil, which is very annoying. Aside from this being really annoying to do, there's also a higher chance of losing your Apple Pencil cap, since it's now lying around somewhere else while it's charging or pairing, and I just lost it somewhere because I dropped it. Okay, let's say you're done pairing and charging your pencil. Now it looks like it has a decent amount of battery based on this widget over here. So I'm gonna unplug this over here and then unplug this. And now I can use my pencil normally, right? So I can just open my notes and continue drawing like smiley faces or whatever I'm trying to draw. Now, let's say my iPad went through a software update and had to restart, or like an app crashed or froze and I had to restart my iPad for whatever reason. Or maybe I'm traveling and I just want to shut down my iPad to save battery and turn it on at a later time. Well, turns out whenever you restart or shut down your iPad, it will unpair with your Apple Pencil, which is really insane because the pencil uses Bluetooth, and I'm not sure why it has to specifically unpair every time you shut down your iPad. So if you go to school and for whatever reason you needed to restart your iPad, since it's a normal thing most people do, you'll have to get this adapter again, assuming you brought the adapter with you in your bag. And you'll also have to get your charging cable, again, also assuming that you brought it with you, and you'll have to plug this in and plug that in to connect it again. And just to prove that it disconnects every single time, I'm gonna unlock the iPad. I'm not gonna show you my password. Okay, we can go into the notes. Then we can like go back into the drawing tools, and you'll see that it does nothing. So you'll have to get this cable over here, plug this in, plug that in, just to get your pencil to work. And while it's doing this, you cannot also use it. So you gotta unplug that, and now you can use it. So those are my only complaints. You can lose the cap, and the other complaint is this super annoying charging and pairing process that requires you to bring all of these random accessories just to get the thing to work. But aside from that, I think it's worth buying if you're a student, since you don't really have any other options that are good, unless you want to buy one of those third-party Apple Pencils that may not work as well. But I really think they could have done a better job at designing it, especially with this type of situation where you gotta charge it and pair it like this. So hopefully you enjoyed watching this video and found my review useful. Feel free to leave a question, comment, or suggestion down below. And please like and subscribe for more, and I'll support the channel. So, thanks for watching.